Hi guys, welcome to Brass Bootcamp. In today's video I'll be going through some of the grade 2 pieces that are in the Easy Winners book by Peter Lawrence and giving you some top tips on helping you out in your practice of these pieces. So first up we've got the Titanic Theme. I'm sure you'll recognise this tune. What is it testing you on this piece? It's a nice song, isn't it? So basically we need to make sure when we play this there's no harsh sounds coming out of our instrument, and we need to make sure that when we do articulate the notes we say t in a really smooth way, and there's no harsh ta anywhere, and there's no harsh sort of sounds happening coming out of our instrument. So there's not really much to say in this. If you play the notes and play the right rhythms, you'll be pretty much okay in this piece, as long as it sounds nice and smooth. So some little rhythm things. If you have a look in bar 2, you've got that minim tied over to a quaver. So the rhythm in that bar will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So that second note, we start it on beat 2, we hold it through beat 2 and beat 3, and then we hold it onto the first half of beat 4, and then we move on the and of 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. The other rhythm in this piece, which I always talk about, is the dotted crotchets. Make sure you hold them on for 2 beats and then move on the and. So a dotted crotchet would be 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. So hold it for 2, but move on the and of 2. So here's the first phrase. The first line's repeated. I'm only going to play it once just to save a bit of time. So I'm going to be blowing at piano, which is blowing nice and quietly, and making sure my tongue is nice and smooth and the piece flows really nicely. So that's the first line, all at the same volume, making sure it's all really nice and smooth. Nice and easy, that one. So second line, slightly different, couple more contrasts, couple more different rhythms to think about. So mezzo forte with a nice crescendo over a few bars to forte. So we need to make sure we start at medium loud, then we get gradually louder until we hit that forte or loud mark. And again, making sure nice and smooth, even when we've got those bigger intervals. So that C to C octave leap, make sure it's nice and even. Last thing about the second line is at the very end we've got those semiquavers, and again the holding on of the rhythm is really important. So we've got to hold the D on for 1, 2, 3, 4 ta 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 at the end. So the last 2 bars of the second line, 1, 2, 3, 4 ta ta ta, yeah, into the last bar of the second line. One thing again about that last bar, make sure you play B flat first valve for the last note of the second line. So here you go, the second line of the Titanic Theme. Yeah, nice and smooth. Apologies for the water halfway through there, but nice dynamics, mezzo forte to forte, and then at the end we diminuendoed and made sure we counted the last 2 bars with those semiquavers in the right place. So the last line, very similar to the second line, it's just in the third bar, the rhythm is slightly different. We've got the 2 quavers instead of the 2 crotchets. So in the third bar of the second line, we've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So we're moving on the and then tying over to that A to the next bar. And then at the end, just follow the notes, make sure you're counting nicely, and playing as smooth as possible. So here we go. that's the Titanic theme. Really nice tonguing, nice and smooth. And again, a nice, smooth, romantic, rounded sound coming out of the instrument as well. No harshness. Next piece is on the other page, the Eastenders theme tune. I'm sure you'll all recognise this one. Again, nice contrast. Instead of nice, smooth playing, we've got to articulate a little bit more in a playful, lively manner. So instead of ta, 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 we go ta, ta, ta. Again, key signatures, B flats all the way through this piece. And let me talk quickly before I play about some of the rhythms. So we've got in bar 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got a quaver and then 2 quavers tied together and then another quaver and then 2 crotchets. So that rhythm will be counted 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, ta 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 ta. That same rhythm happens in bar 8 and in bar 12 and in the second to last bar of the piece. So just watch out for that each time it comes and make sure each time it happens, the rhythm is exactly the same each time. The other rhythm is if we have a look at bar 9, we've got our dreaded dotted crotchets again. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. Other than that, there's not much dynamic contrast. It's mezzo forte or forte. And last thing, we've got to watch out for our DCs and our codas. So we play through until the DC mark, which means go back to the beginning. And then when we get to the end of bar 6, we need to jump to the coda. So here we go. So that's the Eastenders theme. Quite a few high Ds, first valve in that piece. So again, when you're going up to these high notes, make sure you're nice T position with your tonguing and you've got nice fast with your breathing to help get those high notes. So our last piece on the grade 2 syllabus is Where Is Love from Oliver. Again, some really nice music for grade 2. This one, really nice and smooth again, so very similar to the Titanic theme tune in style, but again, we're just playing some different notes. So, this piece, again, lots of dotted crotchets, so the rhythm in the first few bars, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1. So, each time we get those dotted crotchets, we need to count 2 beats on them. In this piece, the dotted crotchets tend to happen on beats 3 and 4. So we're counting 3, 4 and 1. Other things in this piece, if you look at the last bar of the first thing to think about, each note comes as a pair. So if you have a look at the last bar of the first line, and if you go 1 note back, you've got 2 A's on 1 and 2. So there's 2 notes on 1 and 2 valves. And then you've got B flat and F, both on no valves. And then you've got 2 G's, both on no valves. And then you've got A flat and E flat, both on 2 and 3. And then you've got C and G, both on the same set of valves. So that's quite a nice little pattern that you can notice, and it'll really help you out playing this piece. Yeah, so that would be A, B flat, F, G, G, A flat, E flat, C, G. So each set of 2 notes is on the same valves, which is a nice little pattern which will help you out playing it. That same sort of pattern happens on the last line as well. Each set of quavers tied to the minims, they are again on both the same valves. So the last line, you've got your B natural, second valve, and then you've got a C and a G, both on open, and then you've got an A, and then you've got B flat and F, both on the same valves again. and then your G sharp, which is 2 and 3, and then you've got your A and your E on the same vowels as well. So here we go. I'm not going to play the repeat, but when you're practicing it, you can definitely do that too. So here we go. So again, nice and smooth. Again, in this piece as well, similar to the Titanic theme tune, really nice and smooth. So whether you're going to be saying t as softly as you can, or whether you're going to be slurring these notes, it doesn't really matter. I slurred everything that time. But again, when you get the repeated notes, which is 2 notes the same that are after each other, so 2 G's in a row or 2 A's in a row, make sure you're still tonguing really softly. So practicing this piece all tongued and then all slurred, and then choosing which one you prefer, which gets the best effect of smoothness, is a really good way of practicing this piece too. So that's the three of the grade 2 pieces in Easy Winners. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon.